earth does a washing machine have to do with buying a brand new Miele vacuum cleaner? Stick with me and you will find out that answer. But more importantly, how it will save you from wasting a ton of time, money, and frustration searching and researching endlessly online only to buy the wrong vacuum cleaner in the end. Because let's be honest, if you click this video, you're probably already researching for a new Miele vacuum cleaner. And let me guess, you are confused as all heck. Welcome everyone. I'm Rachel, co-owner and operator of Queen Vacuum in Shrewsbury, New Jersey. And in my 20 plus years in this role, I have sold thousands of vacuum cleaners. I fixed probably tens of thousands of them. So trust me, I know my Miele vacuum cleaners literally inside and out, but I'm also familiar with the struggles people like you have when trying to buy a new Miele vacuum cleaner and also trying to use it at home in everyday real life. And today, I'm going to share with you my very favorite analogy that I use in real life in my shop when guiding a customer through the sales experience of figuring out which Miele vacuum is right for their home, their needs, their preferences, and their budget. I promise we're gonna make this really fun and you're gonna find it really, really helpful. So in my store, during an actual sales demonstration appointment, how would I go about helping my customer to actually figure out for themselves which is the right model to clean their house well, easily, and without breaking the budget? I help them in the very simplest, most effective way that I know how, and that's using an analogy to help them understand the mechanical differences between the accessories that each model's packaged with. Because these tools, that's what's actually the difference between any given variant in a model series. It's the tools that they come with. And those tools are each designed for different purposes. So that's what I like to do, is use analogies to make all that make sense. And my favorite one has to do with the good old washing machine. Guys, this is so simple, you're gonna love it. Enter the washing machine analogy. Think about how you would wash your clothes. They're textiles, right? How would you wash them in a washing machine? Using this analogy will help you to understand the purpose of each of Miele's attachments, especially when it comes to cleaning different types of rugs, which are also textiles. So we have two household cleaning machines, washing machine, and vacuum cleaner. Let's look at how they're related. I am assuming that you are familiar with how a washing machine works, right? That there are different settings on the machine. But one of the most important settings has to do with agitation. That is, how strongly the agitation works to mix up the clothes and beat the dirt out of them. And think about why you make those changes. That is how strongly the machine agitates your clothes. You change that agitation setting so that you can get as much dirt and grime out of your clothes as possible, but safely. I emphasize safely. So you have a typical bulky load of towels and grimy t-shirts, and you want to get them really super clean. But what do? You put them in on the washer machine on a normal cycle. Normal is the strongest agitation, right? And this is powerful agitation that will loosen and beat out as much of the dirt as possible. You would probably use this aggressive setting on your filthy garden clothes or the kids' soccer uniforms, something like that. But let's say the next load is all delicate stuff. You read the little instructions on the label of your clothes and it says gentle cycle only. So we change the dial on the washing machine, put everything in, and what changes? It's the amount of agitation. It's slower and more gentle, again, to extract as much dirt as possible from those clothes, but without beating them to death. But then what do you do with that cashmere sweater or beautiful blouse that says hand wash only? Because why? Because either it could cause too much abrasion on the delicate fibers of, say, that silk blouse, or if it's your sweater, it could snag the yarn and unravel the whole thing. So then what do? Well, you have to take it to the sink, put in some detergent and water, get in there with your bare hands and gently massage those clothes so that you still can agitate, squish all the water and soap into the fibers, but in a very gentle massaging action. But you are doing the work, right? Hand wash only. This way, they're as clean as possible, but without causing damage. Okay, so keep this visual in your head as we apply that analogy to the different cleaner heads on the Miele Canister vacuum cleaners. Okay, so back to your new vacuum buying quest. You've been scrolling and scrolling and searching. Yeah, stop that and instead remember this. Despite all of the different variants and model types and names that you see on Miele's site for all the different canister vacuum cleaners, remember that really there are only three, count them, three types of canister vacuum. What we call power team, turbo team, and pure suction. And I liken these to the clothes washing analogy: normal, gentle cycle, and then hand washing. Okay, here goes. Just come with me. We're gonna jump in. I'm gonna take you through a spin so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Let's start with what I call the power team models. Power teams are the standard because they are the standard for cleaning, like normal agitation in your washing machine. These are by far the most popular and appropriate type model we sell for the vast majority of households. Let's talk about why they are the most common, the most popular, the most appropriate, versatile, the standard. They are the standard because it's like the standard normal setting on your washing machine, right? It represents the strongest amount of agitation that gets textiles as clean as possible. But the question is, how do they clean carpets so well? The answer is that they generate a lot of agitation because of a very strong motorized system and brush roller. Strong agitation is what loosens the most amount of fur, old embedded carpet fiber, deep down dust, allergens, even sand and dirt that filters its way down to the bottom of the rug. This brush spins really fast, really strong with a good amount of torque, and spins very consistently under quite a bit of load. And that makes sure that it brushes out the vast majority of the dust and dirt and fur that's embedded in the rug fibers. What makes it so powerful is that it actually has in it its own electric motor. Turbo team. These confuse the heck out of people for some reason. I think it's to do with the name, because turbo sounds like so powerful, yet this agitation system, it is an agitator with a brush. It's way weaker than an electric power nozzle. Turbo nozzle, which is an air-driven nozzle, so instead of electricity, it uses the airflow coming through the neck, going through a little turbine air fan inside here, which I'll show you. Right in here, okay? And when this spins, with the air flowing through it, that's what makes the brush spin. So it's remarkable for what it is. It's quite magical actually, and it works really well on a lot of different piles of rug, but it is definitely slower with less torque or turning power than an electric power nozzle. So to clarify, if you have a household with predominantly bare floors and then a smattering of low pile, thin area rugs, even wall-to-wall carpet, that's low pile, like a cut pile, smooth, not shaggy and rough. That probably is on the delicate side, and that you do not have an excess amount of traffic and especially not a ton of shedding pet fur. This could be a really great option for you. Where this will fail, again, is with shag rugs. It won't turn at all, which is what leads me to the final part of the analogy. What would be like hand washing outside of your washing machine? That would be pure suction, named because that's how they work. They're using just pure suction to dust and surface clean either bare floors or, again, just surface cleaning rugs with no agitation. So this represents the way to most safely clean very fragile rugs without ruining them. Does it deep clean and get all the stuff out like an agitator would? No, it does not, but it's the best you could do. The idea is to be effective yet gentle, just like you would if you were hand washing your sweaters. This is how you would care for what I like to call your floor sweaters. So please tell me that all made sense. Can we just quickly summarize and review? So first is the standard, the rule, the most popular, the power team canister vacuum. That is likened to the normal or the strong agitation setting on your washing machine. And that's what gets the most deep down clean for your rugs and carpets. Number two is the in-between, and that's the turbo team. The turbo team is likened to the gentle cycle in the washing machine. These are ideal for households who have a predominance of bare floors, but still do have some rugs in the house. And the exception to the rule, the simplest machine over here, are the pure suction models, which are likened to hand washing clothes. So these are for houses with only bare floors and possibly a few area rugs that are exceedingly fragile and are not allowed to be cleaned with any sort of rotary brush or agitating tool. So do you see the connection now? Washing machine and vacuum cleaner. I hope the analogy helped you to understand the mechanical differences between the tools that are packaged with each of Miele's different type of vacuum cleaner. That'll help you make a decision better for yourself. Choosing the correct model Miele Canister Vacuum will help you to clean all the surfaces in your house as effectively, deeply, safely, conveniently, and easily as possible. Thank you so much for watching today. I appreciate your time, and I hope that what I shared was fun and really helpful. If so, and you value the education that I provide here, there are a few easy ways that you can show your support. Number one, make sure you actually click the like button on this video, subscribe and hit the little notification bell. 3, also be sure to check out the other videos on our channel. Make sure that you watch them, like, and share them with your friends. 4, super important. If shopping, be sure to use the specific affiliate links that you'll see in the description box of every single video. They are directly related to the products that I show in the videos. And when you click that specific link, and purchase from that, within 24 hours of clicking it, we will get an infinitesimally small commission. But seriously, every little bit helps and we do really appreciate it. Lastly, you can actually shop with and get advice from little old me directly in 2 cool new ways. One is actually the old-fashioned way. If you are local to Shrewsbury, New Jersey, you can go on queenvacuum.com/appointments and select a shopping demonstration or sales appointment. If you're far away out in YouTube land, you still can actually book a time with me on the phone to get personalized advice. I look forward to seeing you all again back here another time soon. And in the meantime, happy vacuuming.